Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Oldham County Fiscal Court. I'm David Vogel, Judge Executive. We're happy to have all of you here today for our meeting on January 6th, 2026, first meeting of the year. If you have a cell phone with you, I'd ask you to please turn it to off or vibrate. Now I'd like to ask everyone who is able to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Holly, please call the roll.
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Woosley.
Here.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Present.
Magistrate Logston. Here. Judge Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the fiscal court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right. Are there any additions? I'd like to mention one deletion that will not have the closed session listed toward the top of the agenda today. We'll cross that off. Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, the first item on today's agenda is approval of the minutes from our prior meeting, which was December 16th.
Motion to approve the minutes.
We approve the minutes as presented from our 12/16 meeting.
Are there any comments or corrections on the minutes?
Judge, I wanted to,
All right, Magistrate Hawkins.
and I apologize, I didn't say this earlier today when I saw you, but on the community business, with the ordinance, it was 6-3, and I think normally we put who was opposed. Would you mind putting the three names of who was opposed on those under the 6-3? Okay. That was all. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Anything else? All right, hearing nothing, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. All right. Time now for public comment, a time during the meeting when we invite people from the community who would like to address the fiscal court to do so. We allow 4 minutes for each speaker, and we'd like you to state your name and address. If you find that to be too or challenging or concerning, you will accept your name or your address, one or the other, or all, preferably your name and address. Thank you. First speaker.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Robert Leslie.
Speak into the microphone. Yeah.
My name is Robert Leslie. I've come here for two reasons. One, I know that you're doing the data center regulations. I work in the utility business. I work all the way from Washington to the Virgin Islands and in between. I have clients that have data centers online. They bill about $1 million a month on their electric bill. That's a lot. That's Northern Virginia Electric Co-op. I also deal with electric co-ops like Meade County in Brandenburg, Kentucky. They do not, under any circumstance, want a data center. The thing about that, and there's a movie line from The Equalizer that says, if you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. The problem with the data center in Oldham County is not any different than something when I was on fiscal court many years ago, and that was an airport. An airport under zero circumstance was a good fit for Oldham County. From the very beginning, I was against it, and one other magistrate was too. But as we went through the process of the airport, eventually everybody agreed the airport in any section of the county was not a good idea. since I know so much about data centers, I could not recommend Oldham County at any time ever putting a data center here. It wouldn't make any difference where you put it. It wouldn't make any difference what regulation you had. Someone is going to be on a very short stick, and you're going to ruin their property, maybe their lives too. So I urge you, under no circumstances, go for data center. It's not a good fit because there's just too much mud with a data center. But I want to go through on a couple other issues of why I actually came here, and that has a little bit to do with my qualifications. I have 2 bachelor degrees. One is in economics, and the other one is in testing and statistics. I also have numerous advanced certifications in non-destructive testing, so I do a lot of inspections on critical issues that deal with utilities. And that's one reason why I know so much about data centers, because I've been right up next to them, and I know an awful lot about them. That's how I know. Some of the awards that I've received through the years are who's who in rising young Americans, who's who in science and engineering. I've also been awarded the United States Republican Senatorial Medal of Freedom. So I've been around a little bit. In my first term, when I was elected magistrate, I gave my first year's salary to various causes within the county. And the reason I did this is because I felt, being a magistrate, you're here to serve the people, you're not here to serve yourself. So whatever came about, I was trying to make sure that either the employees of the county or the citizens that I work for, maybe they were in my district, but sometimes I was in somebody else's district because they needed my help. Go ahead.
All right. I think the 4 minutes are elapsed.
Could I have an extension?
Okay.
I make a motion to give him an extension of time.
Court in favor?
Aye.
How much more time?
Couple of minutes. Before I got on fiscal court, we had regulations, is Clean Water Act. And I got involved with Oldham County Water District because we need to have a wellhead protection committee to set regulations to ensure the fact that our water is clean. There are a lot of people on it, 5. Jimmy Hall from the Water District, Russ Rose from LaGrange. We had Lee Dick, he was our geologist, and we had Vince Attardi, who is our environmental engineer. The water that you drink today came about through the regulations and standards that we set to make sure your water's clean. Yeah, I'm an environmentalist. Don't screw up a good thing. 8 years I was on Tri-County Community Action Agency. I did that because there are people throughout the county who are low income and senior citizens that need help. And I was also the treasurer. I made sure that we were in good fiscal condition. For 35 years, I've also been on the ASTM committee. We write all the regulations for the protection of electrical workers. And I was here in fiscal court for 16 years, and I served as public safety chair, parks chair, environment chair, and other committees. I'm almost done. I own a testing company and work all over the United States of America. I work with insurance companies, fire departments, utilities, attorneys, and engineering companies. And yes, I'm the guy up there trying to make sure that all the people who are IBEW members come home safely at night. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit of a union guy in a way, and also an environmentalist. Who, yes, a fucking Republican would do that, excuse my language. But I decided to run for office again because I feel that there's an increasing need for safety, environment, and the needs of the county.
We give 2 or 4?
I put it on 4, but now the 2 minutes is up.
Are you requesting that I stop?
Your time is up.
That's not what I asked. I said, are you requesting that I stop?
Are we going to give every candidate an opportunity
That's
to come
not
up
what
here and
I
give their
asked.
campaign speech?
That's not what I asked, Mr. Woosley. Are you requesting that I stop because the 2 minutes is up?
Yes, sir, your time is up. Do you want more time?
Yes, I
Are we going to
would.
give every candidate their opportunity to come up and give their campaign spiel?
Okay, well, let's, I think the clock was set at 4. I don't know why the clock was set at 4.
I set it at 4 because that's what it resets at, but it counted down to 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. Okay, Bob, can you wind it up?
There is an increasing need for analytical expertise and has become indispensable in today's environment. That's why I'm running. Obviously, we need that because of issues such as the data center. So I'm going to run specifically on the merits of my candidacy, and that's all I've got to say.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Here, come on, take it.
What position is he in?
Don, you have to give those to the, you have to give
You have to give
the
those to
clerk. No, they have to go to the clerk first before they can be handed out.
You show me how to do it. I'll run it till I know what it is.
Give them all to the clerk.
All of them have to go. Michael. Michael.
You got it.
He has to request a approach.
Thank you, Michael. Sure. I'm good.
Don, we didn't get your handout. We didn't get your
Everybody
handout
one.
down here.
She's always pass them out. Proper way to bring something forward is to give it to the
My
clerk.
apologies.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. And the clerk. All right. Okay, is that enough of them?
I've never passed anything out in here, so every day's a school day, right?
Right. Okay.
All right. Good afternoon, Judge.
Let's reset the
Okay.
clock here to 4 minutes, please.
There you go. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, sure thing.
I'll finish timely.
Okay, sure.
Good afternoon, Judge and magistrates. I'm Don Earler. I'm a proud Oldham County resident. Lived here for 52 years. I gave you copies of my remarks because I encourage you to check the references I will make in my comments today. I do want to address one issue with the proposed data center regulations that you have in your packet, since I will be traveling when you hold the public hearing and the vote on January 20th. On the second page of the proposed regulations, you will see a chart which shows the allowable zoning districts for large hyperscale data centers are I2 and IPD. IPD should be removed because it only includes light industrial I1 uses. From the beginning of the discussions regarding allowable zoning districts for large hyperscale data centers, it was settled that these monsters must be in only heavy industrial districts, i.e. I2. When I asked Ryan Fisher about this issue at a study review committee meeting, he said IPD should be fine since it includes I2 uses. That's not correct. Anna Barge quickly corrected him, and Anna Barge was correct in the fact that IPD does not include I2 applications. Division 210-010 of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance defines the intent of the IPD Industrial Park District Zone. 1, it provides sufficient space in an attractive landscaped and planned industrial parks for industrial, commercial, and office activities. 2, it protects the future economic development opportunities from incompatible land uses. 3, it ensures compatibility between industrial, commercial, and office operations within an industrial park. And 4, it provides employment opportunities for the community's residents and reducing commuting times. It goes on to list permitted uses in IPD and says all principally permitted uses in the C1, C2, C3, C4, and I1 light industrial district are permitted. It does not include I2 uses. Division 190-010 of the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance states, the purpose of the I-1 Light Industrial District is to provide for commercial use, storage, and I have emphasized the following language: any manufacturing not normally creating a nuisance discernible beyond its property. We've had long discussions about that issue with data centers. It's clear that large hyperscale data centers do not belong in an IPD zone. Please amend these regulations when they come before you. Many, including Ryan Fisher, argue that since Dynegy, East Kentucky Power Cooperative Plant, was permitted to be constructed in the IPD zone along Commerce Parkway, that certainly a data center would not be in any more of an intensive use than a power plant. The Dynegy East Kentucky Power Cooperative Facility would not have been permitted in an IPD zone without local government allowing a non-conforming facility. This is not the time to do again what John Black did back in the 2000s. It cost him an election. It's also a merchant electric generating plant, and the state sets the taxes for that. Even today, this facility, which originally cost $200 million, only returns about $135,000 a year in property taxes to the county. Please amend the proposed data center regulations and remove large hyperscale data center facilities from the permitted use in IPD Industrial Park District Zone. It's not where it belongs. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barry Laws, Oldham County resident. Don kind of stole my thunder there. I refer you also to page 2, and again, it's the same conversation. It has IPD, which is light industrial. That's the biggest use you can have in an IPD, but they decided to put the large hyperscale, which absolutely is heavy industrial. So whatever the gears are that has to have this amended, I would appreciate if one of the magistrates would make a motion for that when the time is up to do that, because it's just a little mistake. It can be taken care of. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else who would like to address the court today?
Good afternoon, everyone. Nathan Oberg, 1414 Jaeger Lane. We've had evidence of hyperscale activity coming into Oldham County for almost a year now. Make no mistake, this dialogue that we're having will have direct effects, and it could affect your career here on this fiscal court. How you choose to amend this ordinance, this proposed ordinance, affects us all. Back to what Barry was saying, IPD is mixed use. It has commercial and light industrial only. By the noise, nuisance, sound, and glare that a hyperscale data center produces, it is clearly not compatible with an IPD. This zoning ordinance is how we protect ourselves, how we protect our way of life, and our people. You have a moral responsibility to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Oldham County and our citizens. We're not talking about small and medium-sized data centers. One of the task force members had worked at a data center. It was 5,000 square feet. In this proposed ordinance, the definition on the tables of a large-scale data center is 50 megawatts, roughly twice the amount of power the whole city of LaGrange uses combined. It goes on to state that it's 100,000 square feet or better. We agree with those things. We don't agree with the fact that IPD is in there. The largest and heaviest, most intensive use in IPD is light industrial only. By definition, it just doesn't fit. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Don Chesick. I live at 5000 South, Highway 53. It's actually in Ballardsville. I live right in the middle of Ballardsville. I have a 27-acre honeybee farm. I got 70 beehives there. Since we've moved there, I now have 2 subdivisions being built on both sides, as well as the road, Highway 53 bypass, has just been finalized to cut my farm exactly in half. 15 acres on one side, 12 on the other. So now you're looking at putting possibly a data center in Oldham Reserve, which is less than a mile from my house. I don't know how much more damage you guys can do to me, but I suppose you can do more. So I just want to let you know that a high-scale data center, it's heavy industrial. It's not set up. It's not legal to put in the Oldham Reserve. I know you want commerce there. I know you want semis driving up and down 53 like no tomorrow. You put an interchange at 71 to help entice businesses to come into Oldham Reserve. They said, no, we need something at 64 too. So I know you're working towards putting an interstate through from the data center to 64. And once that corridor opens and is nice, the semi-traffic will be tenfold easily. I'm just predicting that. So I worked my entire life. I just retired. I just retired last week, 38 years. My wife and I have done everything we can. We bought this farm. We started with nothing. We lived in a house trailer. I purchased a house trailer for $3,000 back in 1980. And we worked our way to getting this 27-acre farm, honeybee farm. I finally retired. I'm loving life. And now you guys want to put a data center in the Oldham Reserve? I rest my case.
Could you come back and,
Just for the-
your name was not clearly understood here by
Don
us.
Chesnick.
I just need to know how to spell it.
My name is Don Chesick. Kevin, C-H-E-S-A-K.
Okay.
And Kevin Jeffries is my man.
Don, I'm not intend to respond to everybody that comes up here and says something, but I don't think there's any plan to put any kind of data center in Oldham Reserve. I mean, that, I don't think the board agrees that anything like that would fit there. And so, and as far as a connection from I-71 to I-64, the state has looked at a number of plans to try to go from Bullitt County to Oldham County, to the southeast, and avoid Jefferson County for that kind of traffic. Now, where exactly that would come out, we don't know. And frankly, I think, it won't happen in my lifetime and may happen in yours, but that's 25 years off. There's nothing that's going to happen soon in that regard.
They did finalize the route for the bypass.
Yeah, okay.
It's sealed, it's done, it's a deal.
Okay.
Now, when it happens, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
But it's going right through the middle of my farm.
yeah, believe me, a lot, things take much longer than you'd ever imagine. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you again, Judge.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
Well, we've got name and address.
I'm getting
you're
to that.
getting to it. Okay.
I wanted to say Happy New Year first.
Okay, thank you.
So good afternoon and Happy New Year to everybody. My name is Dana Rich. I do live in LaGrange. I've put my address out there. My husband is not happy about it, so we'll just say Echo Valley Farms.
Okay.
If you need to know more than that, you can hit me up privately. I wanted to take just a few minutes to kind of reiterate to everybody my concerns that are well echoed throughout this courtroom and throughout Oldham County regarding hyperscale data centers in Oldham County. Yes, I do know that we do have a few smaller data centers already here that serve specific companies or specific industries. Please know these are not the data centers that so many of us are concerned about. I think it is very fair to say that they are not even on the same scale as a hyperscale data center that some would like to bring here to Oldham County. Hyperscale data centers As Mr. Oberg has already talked about, and some others have already spoken about, I will not reiterate the numbers. They are something incredibly different. These are the kind of hyperscale or just the kind of data centers that change the entire landscape, not only of a county, but of a city and everybody who is affected by these hyperscale data centers when they are brought in. They are coming whether we like them or not, and while I understand that, I also know that we as Oldham Countyans have a unique opportunity to have a voice in where they go and how big they can be. Hyperscale data centers are heavy industrial. That is the only zone where they belong. IPD is not an appropriate area for hyperscale data centers. I urge each and every one of you to consider this when you are discussing the regulations that will ultimately have a generational impact on our beautiful county. Not just for your kids, not just for my kids, but every generation to come. As a side note, I would like to congratulate those who have already thrown in their hats for the upcoming election. To the two of you who both sat on this very bench last summer where you now sit, stating that you were not running for re-election, please know that there are people, me included, who will actively campaign against you this year. You may not have kept your word about not running for re-election, but I will. Thank you and have a good day.
Anyone else who would like to address the court here?
Good afternoon, Patsy Toole, LaGrange. Mine's very short and sweet because everything has been said. But the thing I keep hearing and I want to reiterate is if they don't belong in IPD, they don't belong in IPD. I don't understand why there even has to be so much discussion around it. If they're heavy industrial and that's not allowed in IPD, then I would hope that it's obvious and that they would not be allowed in IPD. So that's really all I had. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Karen Grant. I live in the Grandale neighborhood.
Where?
Grandale neighborhood.
Grandale.
I'm sorry, can you spell your what's your name again? I'm sorry.
K Grant, Grant.
First name is just K-A-Y.
K-A-Y. So I'm an average citizen. I am new to Oldham County, so I know that I kind of don't know if I even really belong, even to be here for 5 years, but nevertheless, here I am. I have to say this data center business is, as my teens would say, really sus. And if you don't know what sus is, it's suspect. Suspect because average people such as myself are alarmed at the personal harm that would befall the citizens of this county if you allow a hyperscale data center here. Data centers, much less a hyperscale data center, pose a multitude of harms to us. Environmental exposures, concerns about health, water usage, and of course, all that infrastructure cost gets passed on to citizens. But let's be real. You all know this already. I don't think that there's anyone up here on this, at this awesome accumulation of people here that doesn't actually know all of these things. And so I guess my question is, it's suspect because I can't imagine why you would honestly entertain allowing a hyperscale data center here. And even if you see some benefit, the people don't want this. And I truly hope that this isn't a sus situation. And in fact, you will vote against having hyperscale data centers here and change the codes to prevent such a building from coming to Oldham County. I would like to keep Oldham County as good as it is when I came here. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, if we have no one else wants to speak, we'll close the open comment session and go forward with the next item on our agenda today.
Judge,
Yes, sir?
I just want to tell this man here, I'm on the OTA board, and there's been no discussion of building a data center. So, take it to the bank.
The next item we're going to deal with today is a Kentucky Ambulance Block Grant application for Oldham County EMS. Debbie Berry from the EMS is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year again for us to apply for our ambulance block grant for $10,000 through the Kentucky Board of EMS. We've been part of this for as long as I've been in EMS. This year, we're planning on buying another one of our, it's called elk lifting devices. It's about $2,000. It is a great resource in assisting patients who are injured and non-injured up off the floor or into a seating position so we can safely put them on our stretchers for transport. They've worked wonders, the ones that we have purchased. And we're requesting one more with this grant funding to complete one for each one of our ambulances. We're also going to apply for some qualified IT equipment to replace some of the IT equipment that we have at our stations to help with our dispatch as far as following our units on their runs and being able to aid with closest unit dispatching. So we're planning on replacing some of that IT equipment so we can come into the 21st century, if you will. That's so far as we figure that will round out for our $10,000 if we're granted that, but that's what our choice is for this year's grant.
All right, okay. Thank you. Is there a motion? Magistrate
I move that
Jeffries?
we allow you to sign the grant KB EMS G1 in the amount of $10,000 for the Kentucky Ambulance Block Grant Program.
Second.
Thank you very much.
Is there any discussion on this item? Magistrate Woosley.
Ms. Berry, is there a matching portion of this from the county?
No, it's just a grant. It used to be called the Senate Bill 66 funding. And it's just monies that is available every year for all 120 counties if you apply for it through the Kentucky Board of EMS.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Seeing no further discussion about this, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now we're at payables for the 2-week period.
Judge, I'll make the motion and we pay the payables.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Discussion. Magistrate Likens.
Yes, Judge. I would like to remove on page 6, Encompass Development Designs payment of $78,430.65 until I can review that statement more concisely.
All right. We've got a motion and a second, and now a motion maker. Are you willing to remove that?
Who made the motion?
Who made the motion?
I made the motion. I'm not willing to remove that.
Or would you like to seek a discussion of it or explanation? Mr. Clark is here.
If it gets it paid timely, then I think we ought to let Mr. Clark speak to it.
Is your mic on, Chris?
It is.
What would you say?
If it gets the payable paid, let's get Mr. Clark to speak about it for Magistrate Likens.
All right. You want to address, can you address this bill from Encompass?
It came up during the building committee, and I misinformed the group to what it was. I got it confused with another bill from Encompass. This bill does relate to the space next door, the event meeting space here. $30,000, Well, $29,050 is related to the mode that we had to move. Surf Pro came in at $15,000. We had to put new drywall, we had to clean, we had paint and trim. That's a lot of it. Some of it is related to what they call general conditions dating back through 24. That's about $30,000 as well. And then there's charges related to changes we made, such as LED lighting and stuff, okay? I have the detail, but I had misinformed the building committee what the invoice was about, and I wanted to correct that. So,
Magistrate Likens, do you have any questions about this, or?
No, sir, but I would like to see a little bit more information. If Mr. Clark would send that to me, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Are you still asking for a motion to withdraw the bill?
No. No. I'm good.
Magistrate Woosley.
Mr. Clark, when you get a chance, will you send us the total that we've spent on this building so far to date? Thank you.
All right, is there anything else on the bills here? All right. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Under community business now, we have the first reading of an ordinance 26-920-1 of the data center regulations. Ryan Fisher will address that. This is a first reading. There are no votes taken at first readings. It's a public announcement that there is a potential for a vote at the next meeting. Okay, Brian Fisher.
So yeah, just real quick, this is the first reading of an ordinance that will amend our comprehensive zoning ordinance to create a new section, which is section 250-340. That was passed back at the Planning Commission on October 28th. So due to their holiday schedules, that's why it's not being heard by you all until now, as far as waiting to get their minutes approved at their December meeting that they had in early December. So it's being brought before you all today. There were several amendments that were made at the Planning Commission. I will go over those fairly in depth at the next reading, and then you all have been provided, I believe, copies of the ordinance, both a clean copy and then one that has the red line changes that were made at the Planning Commission hearing. So I'll go over that more fully in depth at the next reading, or the next hearing on the 20th of January.
All right, anyone have any questions today from the court for Mr. Fisher? Magistrate Woosley.
When did we get the red line? I didn't get it.
They were sent the clean copy, not the red line
Okay.
version, but
So
following
you all-
court today, I can send you all the red line version copy. I only attached the clean version.
The difference is the clean version is what is being recommended by the Planning Commission.
Correct.
The red
They're-
line is what was prior.
Well, they're both the exact same versions, just the red lines show the things that Planning Commission added that were different from what the Planning Commission heard. Other than that, both the copies are the same. I personally don't like reading the red line stuff. I just like to read a clean copy, so I'll provide both copies to you all. So it's essentially just the changes the Planning Commission made are in red.
Right, and any magistrate who's been interested in reading these prior to today has been able to do so since October 28th, I believe. They've been out for 2 months, so there's no reason someone can say I didn't get it if they were actually interested in getting it. Magistrate Logston.
I don't know how far in depth I can go with this, but where did these regs come from?
A lot of places. A lot of existing regulations, a lot of the people that have got up and spoke today, I've had personal meetings with of things they would like to see in the ordinance. I've met with the health department. I've met with Mr. Hine, who you all are probably pretty familiar with as far as, his experience. Numerous places.
Okay.
This has been about 7 months of work that we've put in, not only just our staff, but meeting with a lot of individuals.
Magistrate Hawkins.
And I wanted to say that I had questions about all the things that were going to be amended that were on the bottom of that page. And Ryan assured me that they are, through the years, as things have left and come and been replaced. So I'm going to look through all that, but it sounds like through the years as this whole thing has been updated, that's what those are referencing.
Well, yes, and Mr. Baxter may be able to explain this much better than me. So when you read the ordinance and it's got all those other ordinance numbers as amended, as amended, as amended. So our comprehensive zoning ordinance was initially passed by fiscal court and was given the ordinance number whatever year that was created. Every time a new section gets added or amended, that ordinance reflects that change. And so if it was created in, let's just say 2000 to make it easy, and then in 2002, you all passed an ordinance to create something, let's say on signs, it would then become KOC 02- whatever. And then the next time a change would happen. And so all of those are listed on that ordinance as amended because that's typically the way we would write those. Am I saying that correctly?
That is correct. And you know, if you look, it's the same thing with the statutes. If you look at the end of a statute, it says the date the statute was initially enacted, and then it will have the dates that it has been amended. So that's indicated, I think, on the one of the beginning pages of the zoning ordinance, right?
Yeah. So, but that's where it just gets a little confusing. So all of those ordinance numbers that are read are all the comprehensive zoning ordinance. It just shows all of the changes that have been made all through the years, which is why that one has so many, is because it gets changed fairly often.
Do you have a copy? Do you have a hard copy of all that stuff in your office?
Of all the,
Yeah, from
yeah, that's that great big,
2001? Okay.
that's, I mean,
It should also be in the clerk's office.
yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, anyone else?
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Can I say one thing?
Yes?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did just email all the magistrates, KRS, the relevant portion of KRS 67.077 that discusses amendment of a proposed ordinance and the procedure to do that. So there's a specific procedure. Any proposed amendments are supposed to be done in writing, and it talks about how that can be done. So if somebody's going to propose an amendment, please make sure that it is in writing. And if you have questions, please call me before we get here on the 20th. Oral modifications on the 20th are not in line with the statute, so that everybody has an email from me. I sent it to all the magistrates, you, Your Honor, and also the deputy judge, so everybody has what the rule is. It's KRS 67077, subsection 1 spells out what needs to be done.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Ryan. Next item on the agenda has to do with Project Bland, potential tax incentives. David Bazanis is here from the Oldham County Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon, magistrates, Judge Vogel. My name is David Bazanis. I'm with Oldham Chamber and Economic Development, and I'm here today to report on an economic development project located around 393 and the Commerce Parkway Extension, Project Bland. In 2022, our office met with a development group called Glenview Partners out of Memphis, Tennessee, who were interested in learning about the I-71 corridor. In that meeting, we took them through the entire community and showed them all of the investments that had been going on in Oldham County, all of the growth where business was happening, and we had a very productive meeting. Over the next couple of years, we kept in contact with them, and they would call occasionally with questions about this or that. And ultimately, we were notified that they had purchased the land around the Tri-County Ford property from Bob Jones. And on that property, they had planned to build speculative warehousing that they have deemed the 71 Commerce Center. That project consists of 3 Class A industrial buildings made of tilt-up concrete, one of them approximately 450,000 square feet in size, and 2 on the north side of the Commerce Extension that are approximately 135,000 square feet, built on speculation without a user, in hopes that they would attract a company to come and occupy those spaces. I'm here today and had reported in December, I'm sorry, let me back up a second. I reported to the Fiscal Court Economic Development Committee back in December that that company had met with a potential user and were pursuing or considering pursuit of some state incentives for an automotive company, not a production company, but automotive production. Not they don't build cars. But I'm trying to tread lightly here on some of the details. There is some confidentiality to it. There's no toxic waste. There's no smokestacks. It's in the automotive industry, and this particular user is a company out of Michigan that intends to lease all 3 of those buildings. The process for them to apply for state incentives, this company out of Michigan, is that they will go before the KEDFA board, which is the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, which is an arm of the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet, for an approval to bring approximately 250 to 300 jobs that will pay approximately $26 to $36 an hour, along with medical benefits and health care, to the project and will lease this property from Glenview Partners. We were notified over the holiday season that they intend on moving forward with applying for incentives, and while they are still negotiating that lease with the owner of the property, they will be going before the KEDFA board in this January. If the KEDFA board preliminarily approves them for incentives, then typically and traditionally, as has been with projects we've had here in the past, there is the expectation from the state cabinet that there is a local participation. So today I am here to request this court to consider approving a motion for Judge Vogel to sign a letter of support that would commit a minimal 1% cut of the insurance premium tax, which is at a 10% rate. That's the maximum rate you could have on insurance premiums for the period of a 10-year time, should they be approved for the Kentucky Business Incentive. Just to give you a little understanding of what that means from an investment standpoint and the tax revenue that will be generated from the project, not including the 300 jobs. This project to construct those facilities is approximately $61 million. The property taxes alone, now the insurance premium taxes are hard to figure what the return would be because we don't know what their insurance premiums will be. But for the property tax alone on that $61 million investment, the county would receive, and I think previously had received less than $400 in property tax on this raw land. The county would receive $53,000 each year. The Oldham County Extension Service would receive $8,500 per year. The ambulance service would receive $28,000 per year. The health department received $15,000 per year. Our libraries will receive $23,000 per year. And Oldham County School System will receive close to $500,000 each year just from the construction of these facilities. The company out of Michigan located, should they decide to locate and cut this deal with Glenview Partners, will bring great jobs, bring a potential partnership with Oldham County Schools and JCTC up in Carroll County, and give a lot of our residents an opportunity who may have a lower wage or may not have health benefits to work in a place here in Oldham County rather than drive to some other community on I-71 to be able to make a living. I recommend that this court approve Judge Vogel's signature of a letter to say that we would support that here locally, and should they go through the meeting at KEDFA in January and are approved or preliminarily approved, the next step would be to come back to this body and request that that be done and memorialized in a resolution. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Well, let's, first of all, let's get a motion on the floor, and then we'll go to questions. Magistrate Tice.
Yes, Judge, I'd like to make that motion that we empower the judge to sign a letter of agreement from the county that will participate in, help me just a little bit.
It would be a letter of support, pledging a 1% cut in the 10% insurance premium tax for the duration of the KBI incentive.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, let's see here. Magistrate Jeffries.
Just a quick question, David. If they don't meet their hiring quotas or whatever, the 300 or whatever, what happens with that 1%?
The 1% would stay the same. Now, the state could decide if they say we're going to hire 250 people, but they hire 300 people, they could receive a little bit more. There'll be a sliding scale within what's approved. And should they say, well, we only are going to hire 200 people, they'll slide that scale as well. But there is a minimal amount of employment that they have to meet and investment that they have to meet as well.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and if they fall out of compliance, then then the 1% break goes away and it goes back to the 10% rate.
All right, Magistrate Logs.
Yes, David, thank you for coming up here and giving us this presentation. So you can't tell us what they're going to put in there or what they're going to make?
I cannot right now tell you what that is.
Can you tell me if it's corrosive or?
No, it is not. It does not have negative environmental impact.
Okay, so it has no environmental impact at all that will?
I mean, building a building has an environmental impact, so I don't want to say that no, but there's not, like I said, there's no smokestacks, there's no environmental hazards or anything like that.
No batteries?
No batteries, no.
Okay. I mean, because to me, that's what's important. I mean, I love the fact that you're bringing jobs here, but I also want to look at the impact it has on the environmental too. So I don't want to put something in there that's going to have, blue oval, and then we're stuck with those buildings. So that was my question on that.
Understand.
I understand you can't tell me exactly what the widgets are.
I can speak a little. I had a conversation with the owner of the company yesterday for specifically to say, what will you allow us to say? And they're not being incredibly secretive, but part of, and I do know what that they plan to do. They don't want it spoken about publicly, partially because they negotiate contracts with some of the people that they'll be servicing. And so, everybody's trying to get contracts with folks. So if we say this is what the company's doing, they're about to pull the trigger on a purchase, that could impact those negotiations that they have with their clients.
Okay. I mean, that's my only problem is I just don't want a battery plant open up in Oldham County.
That is, I can assure you it's not a battery plant. Also, by the time, should they get approved through KEDFA, at that point when we come back and ask for a resolution to memorialize this, you will know what that is.
Magistrate Woosley.
Mr. Bazanis, you're asking us to give up 1% of our 10% surtax. What's the state going to match that with?
We don't know yet. So they're going to go through the application process. That's why we just need a letter of support to say this is locally what the Oldham County is willing to do, so that I think it's an indicator to the state that they know that this community would like to have the project. Okay. So if you said we don't want to give them anything, then I think the state goes, well, it doesn't sound like they really want to have you there.
You said they were going to offer us a $61 million investment, offer 300 jobs.
Well, without the company, the $61 million investment is already happening, right? So that's the cost of constructing the buildings and purchasing the land. Okay. So even without the company there, the property taxes will be impacted at that $61 million mark.
What is the company going to provide? You said 300 jobs. What else were they?
A wage of $26 to $36 an hour with benefits.
And we don't know what kind of investment they're going to make inside those buildings?
It is part of their application. Yeah, I mean, it's a 10-year lease. It's a 10-year lease, and they're going to be, a person that's making a $60 million investment finds it adequate for them to cut the deal for what they're willing to lease the buildings for.
I know of one other company that we've offered this to. Has there been others other than the one?
Yeah, Conagra is one of those companies, and now they've been Treehouse and Carriage House, and now they're Windland Foods. There have been other ones over the years. This is traditionally a community will cut an occupational tax. Since Oldham County doesn't have an occupational tax, and this is outside of the city of LaGrange, then the 1% of an occupational tax is what a lot of other counties will do. And so back in, I think it was 2013 when we went through this process, we had to go through actually a bunch of steps to get KEDFA to say, okay, the insurance premium tax is fine, and the 1% of that cut was necessary.
Okay. Are there been any other taxing districts being asked to also waive some tax for them?
No.
Okay. And do they have the 10 years to get the 300 jobs?
Yes.
And is it 300 additional jobs, or is it 300 jobs?
Additional.
Okay. And last question. The 1%, if they, it starts immediately. If, say, in 8 years, they go under?
I'm sorry. When I say immediately, they have to get up and running, and then they will call the cabinet and decide to activate. At the point they activate, it will be 10 years from that date. So it could be a year or two before they actually activate those.
Okay. And if they don't go the 10-year, if at the 10-year mark, they haven't fulfilled their side of the deal, do we get any of that 1% back, or does it just stop?
No, they would either stay in compliance or be out of compliance. As soon as they are out of compliance and we are notified, then we will raise that rate back, or this is actually what happened through a rebate, because you can't go through an insurance company and say, hey, this particular person that is using your insurance, we want you to change their county rate. It'd be too difficult. So what they will do was provide their insurance premium, and then the court would rebate 1% of the 10% premium back to them.
Thank you.
Well,
All right, Magistrate Hawkins.
And the letter is just saying that we support it, not that we're actively going to give that today.
you're saying that we are in agreement that should KEDFA approve them for incentives, that this fiscal court will deduct 1% of the 10% rate on their insurance premiums.
And they still have to go through that whole process.
That's correct.
And then I wanted to make clear, because we got these numbers about what the extension gets. That's for the $61 million build out that the owner is going to
That's correct.
provide no matter what we do here
That's
today.
correct.
And the 1% break on the insurance premium, and we talked about this in economic development, the insurance premium, 100% comes to the general fund. So all of the schools and nobody else will be impacted by this 1% deduction.
Correct.
So I just wanted to make that clear. It's not like property taxes. It's the insurance premium.
That's
like
correct.
when like if they were to have a boat.
If there were a project in one of our municipalities, like in LaGrange, they also have an insurance premium tax. There may be, it could be a negotiating point for someone to say, we also want the city to negotiate theirs, or the county and the city could decide to split 0.5%. I mean, there's a lot of different ways I think that it's possible to do. But I think the important part is that the cabinet sees that the community is willing to have some participation.
Magistrate Woolsey.
I do have one more question. So are we saying that their percentage is going to be 9% or just 1%? So what happens if fiscal court decides someday that we're going to lower that insurance surtax? Is it still lowered by 1%? So if we set it at 8%, is theirs going to 7%?
I'm not positive, but I would believe if this court decides next year that we want to lower our 10% rate to 8%, then they would go to a 7%.
It's not a sliding scale. It's not a sliding scale. The way that we've done this in the past is it's just stuck at the 1%. So if, to your point, if we were to lower it to 8, they're only going to pay a net of 7. I think if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, another way to think about this also is the property taxes that are being paid by the buildings, or whether they're occupied or not. So that is a great thing. But so the incentive is for this particular company. Now, should this company not be something that we wanted in here, say that what is a battery plant, and we as a community said we don't want a battery plant in Oldham County, then we could decide that we don't want to participate in that, and that's not something we want here. And then somebody comes along, maybe they employ more people or less people at a lower wage. I mean, you have all of those different differences that come in with, okay, well, what will the community make off of, what's the benefit to the community for this particular employer? And typically that's going to come down to jobs and wages. So when it comes to property taxes, that's going to be more along the lines of what gets constructed.
Judge.
Magistrate Rounds.
Just so the court and everybody is clear, the property taxes we talked about in the economic development meeting, this is the number that we can put our hands on that we've been given. We don't know the exact the equipment that's going to be inside the facility.
That's correct.
But there's an inventory tax, there is the insurance premium tax, there's the property tax. This isn't the only number that we're going to receive, but this is the only number that we can work off of. I mean,
right.
Because until they get the other stuff done, we won't know.
If we total all of those tax revenues up that serve the community, the total is approximately $625,000 a year. So we had raw land there that was producing minimal amount of return, Now with facilities there, we have that. Now, another part of this that I think is important is to commend the effort that it took to extend Commerce Parkway. That road was in planning for 15 years. We got it built, and now we have business that's locating there. That area has been zoned industrial for 20 years. Now we have a user for it. It's right there on the expressway. The widening of I-71 is a key part of this. It just goes to show that public investment is followed by private investment when strategically planned.
All right, I believe we have a motion and a second on the floor to approve this 1% participation. And send a letter of agreement. We're basically checking a block there. I'm surprised. I've asked why 1%. Why wouldn't you want 5? But David said that they're satisfied with the 1, so I won't fight it. Okay. So
I still have a question.
Okay. Also, go ahead.
So, David, since we don't know what's going to be put in there, so once we go with this, basically, we can't back out if they come in and say whatever we're putting in there we don't like. Then
It's not what you said. It's not what he said.
just asking.
Well, I know what it's going to be, and I don't think it's controversial, and I know that requires a trust level there. I don't think that it's appropriate. If we've been asked by the company not to speak about it publicly so that they can continue to manage their negotiations with clients that they have. And before this body resolves,
I don't want any environmental impact to come from this.
there will not be an environmental impact from the production of this
Okay.
Business.
All right, we've got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to hearing more about it as the circumstance progresses. Under contracts and resolutions, we have the Pillar Grant application resolution. Bo Glass has been working with Pillar on that, so.
Good afternoon, Judge. Bo Glass, Judge Vogel's office. I'm requesting the judge's approval for the judge's signature to be in all necessary documents for the funding grant program funding application that's relative to the grant that was applied for back in October. All of it's relevant to the Pillar and housing for adult with disabilities.
Right, this grant is just for Pillar, application for Pillar to get some more money to help for the building project that they're trying to do, and
Judge,
we are supportive of it. Okay, go ahead.
Judge, I'll make that motion that we approve the grant application and allow you to sign all necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
I have just one quick question.
All right.
Is there's no thing that we have to provide cost share wise or anything? I mean, okay.
No, sir.
They're applying for a $250,000 grant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that'll be for down on 393 there at Apple Patch. Is that
329?
329.
I'm sorry. 329. I'm sorry. 390. Yeah, 329. Thank you.
All right.
Magistrate Woosley.
What was your motion again, sir?
We approve the judge to sign this document.
It's a resolution. Shouldn't we make the motion have been to approve the resolution?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was a resolution. And I'll make the motion the judge sign the resolution number 101, I'm sorry, resolution 0101-0626 for Pillar grant application.
And I'll agree with that as the motion or the second.
All right. All right, moved and seconded, we approve this resolution. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Next item, Jim Silliman. This is a release of an erosion control surety bond.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Jim Silliman, Oldham County Engineer. This is about the Leonard number 8 warehouse that was constructed at 2106 Button Lane in LaGrange. That construction is complete, and based on our inspection, the site has been completed in accordance with the approved construction plans and county ordinances. And as such, we're requesting the fiscal court release the erosion control surety, which was a check in the amount of $15,692.95.
Is there there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
Judge, just to let you know, this did come to Road Committee last month, and so we did vote to send that to court with a positive recommendation.
All right.
And I'll add that this is in the city of LaGrange, and we do have concurrence from the city's stormwater inspector also.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Personnel items, is Tina Schaaf here? Okay.
Way
Pull
back
that
here.
microphone down.
There you go, way back here. Before you this afternoon is a promotion for dispatch. If you remember, we promoted as interim director Greg Beck back in October 7th, and it was a 90-day appointment. So we are recommending a promotion permanently for him for dispatch director with a salary of $95,888 per year, effective today, actually.
Effective today.
Judge, I'll make the motion that we promote Greg Beck to Director of Dispatch.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now, I have a couple of appointments here. First board appointment to the Oldham County Water District Board. I have two appointments, one for Bob Durbin to be reappointed to continue from until the 1st of January 2030. And the second appointment for Jay Hall, also from January 1st, current date until the first day of January in also 2030. So I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Opposed.
Who was that? Motion carries 8-1. Second appointment this is a reappointment to the Oldham County Board of Adjustments for David Gray, also for a term to continue from today until January 1st of 2030. And I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All right. Any discussion on Mr. Gray? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Pardon?
Why are these for 5 years, 4 years?
Well, that's the traditional term.
It's 2026.
Huh? They're all 4-year terms, yeah.
Yeah, it's 2026.
No, that's the way the bylaws are written. Okay, so. All right, time now. We're at the second public comment of the meeting. Is there anybody here remaining who would like to make any further comments today? All right, pretty quiet group here. Nobody getting up. Everybody just sitting there. All right. We'll wind this up with a few comments from our magistrates today. Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. I would just like to say one thing about something that was said today. The lady that was upset because I decided to rerun as magistrate again. I have over 50 years' experience as a licensed and registered professional civil engineer. That is the expertise I bring to this court. And frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. I hope you run 40 people against me. That's a good thing. Thank you.
All right. Magistrate Tice.
I said earlier I wasn't running, and I'm still not running. So if I was included, I apologize, but I'm not. So other than that, that's all I have to say.
Magistrate Woosley.
Long-term District 3 resident Bob Vessels is in the hospital. He's served on the GOP board for a long time, and he's been really active in the community. I just wanted to wish him well. That's all I got, Judge.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Yeah, the only thing, I went to the LaGrange City Council meeting last night, and they had a report about, they had a ice skating event last weekend or whatever, and I think it was very successful. They had, I believe, 400 and some folks that were there, and so it sounded like it was really exciting. They've got a lot of positive things I think they're looking at for 2026. They're going to redo the Main Street clock, going to update that a little bit, make it a little bit, it's been several years since that was put in. So I think LaGrange is doing a lot of very positive things and pretty exciting here for this part of Oldham County. So, Judge, that's all I have to report on today.
Magistrate Hounds.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Today, the General Assembly gavelled in, and there's a budget process that's going on as we speak with the House. I can't speak for all the magistrates, but most of the magistrates I know have reached out to our representatives asking for certain projects. If there are things that it's probably too late to put in the budget now. If we were to call them today and ask them to put a widget something in, they'd probably laugh at us because they probably get all the numbers done. But just to let you know, we are in contact with our legislative representatives for Oldham County. Training season starts again. I sent an email out to the magistrates for February the 11th is our legislative day in Frankfurt. Hopefully everybody can attend. It is a all-day event. It does wear you out. There's a lot of walking that's going to be done, especially now with the capital in the state that it's in. And also, too, I know the magistrates got this email. Came from the Magistrates Association, but there are some great classes that are coming up next week, I believe. 13th.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, next week, for the 14th, yeah. So if you haven't seen those, let me know. I'm happy to forward that information on to you. Thank you.
All right, Magistrate Hawkins.
I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. And this is our first meeting of January and our first meeting of the new year. This is the start of my 8th year in this position. And so I want to say, like I say every first meeting of the new year, that I'm grateful to my constituents that I'm here and looking forward to a nice 2026. And thank you for the opportunity to serve the community in District 6 specifically.
Magistrate Dye.
Two things. I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. Which brings me to the second thing is I follow this stuff very closely on people that are trying to jack up your credit card and your bank accounts. And it seemed like we call them hackers, you know that. They seem to have upped their game. They're trying to actually get you on the telephone, and they've really improved their spiel. So if you have, this group I see here, I don't think you're going to have a problem. But they seem to be targeting older people and younger people. When I say younger, I mean, teens and early 20s. So look at your statements, look at your credit cards, make sure be sure that all your credit cards, you have the bank name. What I did on mine, I just took a picture of it with my phone. And that way it's got the phone number. If you lose a card, you got it right there. You can call them and stop the card immediately. So that's my public service announcement today. Thank you.
They've already hacked your cell phone, too. Pee Wee Valley City Council meetings tomorrow at 6:30, and then Crestwood City Council meetings at the barn the following Wednesday also at 7:30. So in case anybody wants to show up, Pee Wee Valley lasts about 15 minutes. Crestwood can last 45 minutes. So.
All right, thank you. I don't have a lot to add today. I've got plenty of things in my head, but I'm going to save them for another day. I would like to say that you heard earlier, we've talked about bills, about Chapel 1888 is the name of the former Methodist church building next door that has been remodeled. It's all ready to be rented out and leased for community gatherings, weddings, whatever your event might be. So the rental goes through the Park and Rec Department, and I believe it's posted on their website. Should be. If it's not, it will be soon. I believe it's there. But anyway, that's a nice facility, and it's a good addition to our downtown area. I also want to thank our maintenance department. I think they did a great job of putting up our artificial Christmas trees on the courthouse lawn. I drove by there quite a few times as I traveled through LaGrange, and always, picked up my spirits, and I thought it was beautiful. And I think Holly found them on the internet, and I want to thank the head trust that contributed a significant amount of money to buy those artificial trees. It should last for a very long time, and they're down now, but they'll be going up again next year. The courthouse itself is in the process. They started moving furniture yesterday from Crestwood or Frankfurt. I don't know where it came from, but trucks arrived. It's going to take another 45 days to get everything squared around in there. Judge Crosby would like to begin judicial proceedings, if you will, the first week in March. So that project is finally coming to an end. It began in December of 2018, and we're about to cross the finish line. So I believe when everybody gets a chance to come in and look around, you're going to be proud of what has been accomplished. It's for the long haul. It's a beautiful interior space in the building, and it'll serve this county hopefully for the next several hundred years. So with that, thank everybody for being here today, and I'm sure that some of us are going to get together in 2 weeks, and we'll get to the serious discussion of data center regulations at that point. So thank you very much for being here. We're adjourned.